Jeff Passan of ESPN wrote about this earlier today. I'm going to read this quickly. One of the excerpts of the piece he's posted up on ESPN.com. Despite currently holding the final wildcard spot, Toronto hasn't done enough to convince ownership to open the coffers, leaving the Blue Jays precisely where they've been all season, the muddled middle. That said, when asked where Ohtani could wind up if he's moved, three of the most popular answers from executives are Baltimore, Tampa, and Toronto. He goes on to write, the Blue Jays are a longer shot due to a thinner farm system. But what do you make of that report from Passan?
Yeah, I don't look at it the same way. I don't, he may have asked around, people may have said Toronto, but I don't. Remember, Mark Shapiro, when he came in, one of the things he did was the way it was portrayed was that literally the word scolded was used when he talked to Alex Anthopoulos about giving up all the prospects that he had to go get David Price and Tulowitzki and those guys at the deadline that year. And so it doesn't feel like a Mark Shapiro type move at all for me. And, especially as a rental player, especially when, if you're going to sign Bichette and Guerrero for the long term, you're going to need young players to be able to break in and play around them because it's what you're going to be able to afford. So I don't know. It doesn't feel to me like that's the right fit. I don't know whether it's a coffers thing. Their payroll is over $200 million this year. It's not like they're not spending some money in Toronto. And so, the issue there is not that they have not spent enough. It's that some of their expected really good players are playing pretty good, pretty well, but not like what everybody thought is superstars. And so, there's enough here. They just got to get this core of players to get going. And you can add a guy or two, but in the end, it's going to come down to our Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, and George Springer going to lead this thing offensively. And then what happens after that with the pitching staff and what direction they're going to go. I'm doing a hit tonight you'll see it on SportsCenter. They asked me about Ohtani, and I said I don't see Ohtani being a Blue Jay move at all. I really don't. Mm-hmm. But what I do, one bold move I could see was they've been in on Justin Verlander each of the last couple times he's been a free agent. He's got the rest of this year and next year, and where his numbers don't look great, his last 5 starts he looks like Verlander again. And that would be a move that I would add him, put him in the front of the rotation. I'm not counting on Manoah. I'm not counting on Ryu coming back and being great. Give me a guy that's been there. Give me last year's Cy Young Award winner. And it might not take a lot to get him if you're going to take the money. And again, that's if the Mets decide they want to trade him. But that's the direction I might look to go. And then I would probably add a platoon right-handed bat to go with Varsho in the outfield. Whether that's Tommy Pham or Mark Canha or Brandon Drury or somebody like that. But I don't see, and you might fortify the pen a little bit more, but I don't see Ohtani really being in the mix there.